What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome back to another video here on Peg City Hockey. Now, today, we're going to be talking about the dismissal of Lou Lamoriello and Barry Trotz from the New York Islanders, which means Barry Trotz is now an eligible candidate for the Winnipeg Jets to hire as a potential coach for next season. As we know, Dave Lowry and the entire coaching staff have been cleared, sent home, bags packing down to the airport. Thank God, it's about time. So the search now has to happen for a new head coach. So before we actually jump into this report and start talking about, the potentials and the leaks that have potentially started to kind of come out about the Jets being potentially heavily pursuing Trotz, I got to give some shout outs to some players that will be playing over in the World Championships this year for their respected countries. So we're going to start off and jump over and talk and congratulate Nate Schmidt, who will be playing for Team USA in the World Championships coming up very, very soon. Congratulations to Nate Schmidt, as well as Nikolai Ehlers will be playing on Team Denmark. I'm pretty sure that was a given at this point. But we also today had another bit of announcement that Pierre-Luc Dubois and Adam Lowry will be playing on the men's World Championship roster for Canada. So we're going to be able to, which actually surprised me a little bit because I thought for sure Josh Morrissey would get a look after this year. So maybe he just chose not to go. I don't know what the situation is there, but I really thought Josh Morrissey would definitely get a look there. But nonetheless, Dubois and Lowry will be representing the Jets with Team Canada at the Men's World Championship. I'm very excited to watch that. I always like the World Championship. It's good hockey. So yeah, it's going to be really fun to be able to watch some Jets on some teams that I think will be pretty good in Canada, Denmark, and the US. So got to give some shout outs to those guys. But without any further ado, let's jump in back to the news about Barry Trotz. So as you guys can see right here, President and General Manager Lou Lamoriello announced today that Barry Trotz has been relieved of his head duties. Lou Lamoriello still has his job, but Barry Trotz does not. So that is exactly the type of news, as Jets fans, we want to hear right now, because we need a good head coach. Now, let me get this straight right now. I do not think that Barry Trotz coming here wins us a cup in our first year, makes us the greatest city in Canada, and all the other stuff that people are preaching on Twitter and social media about how desperate they want Barry Trotz to come here. I actually don't even think Barry Trotz would be my number one candidate. I really don't, and I can't tell you who my number one candidate would be because I'm still kind of making that list up as my head as a fan of this team and kind of how I personally would want to see the direction go forward into next season. But Barry Trotz is a proven head coach, and not only is he proven, he's a winner. This is a guy that can come in and get a locker room under control and help get the best out of everyone in the room. The Jets right now have a toxic locker room right now. We know that because it's kind of documented fact. We've heard the rumors before with Bufflin, with Line, with all the stuff that happened with Rosvik back then too. All that crap. We heard all those rumors. We didn't want to believe it as fans, and for good reason, because why would you want to believe that your team's locker room is cancerous? I cover it because it's what we need to do, but I want to play you this clip that came from from a podcast earlier talking about exactly what is going on with the Jets locker room. And this is coming from player sources from Cody Eakin and Kevin Hayes, two former Jets that were acquired at the deadline. So I'll go back over to screen record and let you guys listen to this.
I heard a lot of stories that was it Shifley and who's the other star guy there?
Wheeler.
Is there a little bit of an issue in the locker room? Is that
huge? I think huge. Right. I think it's been for 5 years here, it's been a divided dressing room. The rumors out there in the city, some people know about it, but I'm talking from stuff I've heard from players. Cody Eakin played there, got traded at a deadline. Hughes, who signed in Philly, what's his name? Who played for the Rangers?
Right.
What was that? What's it? He's a good player in Philly. Hayes. Sorry. Yeah. So he played for the Rangers, got traded to Winnipeg at the deadline. Was there for 3 months and then signed with Philly. Both those guys have said not the worst dressing room they'd ever been in.
Oh wow!
Not a worse dressing room they've been in.
Two players, half the players follow one side. Right. You look at and Paul Maurice was a coach who it shocked me, and I think experience.
That's enough right there. You don't need to listen to the rest of it. They just talk about Paul Maurice. But that is from the players themselves that have come to Winnipeg for just a short time in the last few seasons and have given that about the team locker room. So that says a lot right now about the culture in that room that we already know is bad based off last season and how Mark Scheifele gave his exit interview. But just to know it's that bad now, that scares me. That scares me a lot because this is a team that needs to keep the core together if they want to be able to still have any type of window. If you lose an Ehlers, if you lose a Dubois, if you lose a Hellebuck, if you lose Perfetti, even though he's young, like, who knows what could happen, right? Morrissey, you're like, that's scary. That is a scary situation to be in. If you lose Dubois, Ehlers, Kyle Connor, God forbid, any of these guys, because of the locker room being that bad, that would be the worst thing to happen in Winnipeg since they lost the team and since Timu had to leave. I'm being genuine. Actually, you know what? Scratch the whole Timu thing. I think that would be the worst thing that has happened to the Jets since they left. Way back when in the 90s. If it turns out that all these rumors for the last few seasons, 5 years it seems like, honestly, let's be real, are true, then that is a bad look for the franchise. So I think a guy like Barry Trotz would be a very good fit for the Winnipeg Jets. And when you come back over as well, going over to something from Elliot Friedman today on the talking about it, is that he thinks that the Jets are going to be all over Barry Trotz. He doesn't know where he's going to end up right now. No one does, obviously, but it makes so much sense that the Jets would want to be interested in Barry Trotz. He's from Manitoba. He's the type of coach that can come in and really get the players to buy into his system. We didn't have that with Paul Maurice because Paul Maurice let the players buy into their own system. They let the players run wild in there. We know that's a fact now. We know it's proven. It is proven that it is a toxic locker room run by Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele at this point. So we need a coach like Trotz that can come in and really shake these guys up. If they want to trade after because they don't like Trotz, that's fine. We don't need Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele anymore. I'm sorry to say that, but we don't. If they are that much of cancers in that room, we don't need them anymore. We need to keep the core together, and a guy like Trotz could be exactly what we need to do that. So I don't know what happens. It's very early on, kind of preliminary news at this point about all the stuff that's kind of going on there. But at the end of the day, I got to talk about it because I think that the Barry Trotz to Winnipeg would be a good fit. Is he my number one candidate? Probably not, but I think right now he's definitely within that top 3. I think Barry Trotz to Winnipeg makes a lot of sense, and I would be very happy if that happened. It'd be very refreshing to have a different type of coach like that come in and try a new system with these players and see if it works and see if we can get some life back in this team. But again, I'm just one fan. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comment section below. Would you like to see Barry Trotz get hired? Would you like to see somebody else? Let me know what let me know what your list is right now, actually, for the coaching options for the Winnipeg Jets going into next season. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. As always, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Check out all the other affiliate links down in the description below, as well as subscribe and hit that bell icon if you haven't already. Drop a like as well. It's a great way to show support for the channel. If you're new to this channel, regardless of the team that you root for, definitely get dropping a subscription. We'll be covering all the Winnipeg Jets news leading throughout the offseason draft and free agency and everything into next year, as well as we cover every Winnipeg Jets game, as well as other teams' news from time to time. So if you'd like to see another team's perspective, definitely drop a subscription. So with all that being said, have a great rest of your day. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go! And I will see you guys in the next one.